Superman. Everyone has heard of Earth's mightiest hero, but few people know the story of where he came from and how he came to be. It begins on a distant planet, millions of light years away, where the first day of a new era shines from out of the green dawn.
Welcome home, Jor-El. I trust your journey was a successful one. It was, and it was not, Killex. I have learned what there is to learn. I only wish I had not. Where is my child? Following your earlier instructions, I have placed his birth matrix in the third-level laboratory, sire. Good. I will go straight there. What shall I tell your wife if she arrives? Please guide her to me. My son, Kal-El. Can you see me from your birth matrix? The crib that encases you? Can you understand what's going on all around you?
Jor-El, then it is true. When I was told, I could not believe it. But you really did it. You sent our robot servant to remove my son's matrix from its birth chamber.
I did. Am I not entitled to do so if I wish, Lara? I am the child's father. By Kryptonian law, I have the right to remove him.
You speak of a law that has not been invoked for centuries, Jor-El. Has the tragedy that now besets our world robbed you of your sanity? Is this why you endanger the life of our child?
Endanger? What I mean to do will not endanger him, Lara. He will survive. Long after all of our planet Krypton is a shattered ruin, our son will survive.
But even now, our greatest physicians seek a cure for the plague which is destroying us. Within days...
Krypton will be no more. I too have been seeking the answer. The terrible secret behind the Green Death, which has already claimed uncounted millions of us, Lara. Not 1 hour ago, I returned from a journey that had taken me all across the face of our world. And I have discovered the cause of our calamity.
What is it?
A chain reaction within Krypton's core has caused vast pressures to build within the planet's crust. These vast pressures are fusing the native elements into a new metal, a radioactive metal. That radiation is killing us all. If that were not enough, that same pressure is shaking our world apart. Within a day, perhaps within as little as an hour, Krypton will explode.
No, that cannot be. We have been absolute masters of this world for thousands of years. It does not even rain unless we permit it. Now you say the world will destroy us.
Perhaps it is fitting, Lara. As you say, we control the planet. We have filled every nook and cranny, conquered and harnessed every force of nature. And in the end, what have we achieved? A cold and heartless society, stripped of all human feeling, all passion and life.
You speak lies.
I speak of a fullness of life we have denied ourselves, but which I shall give back to our son.
What do you mean? If Krypton is doomed, our child is doomed also.
No, Lara. Sealed within his birth matrix, he is shielded from the poisonous radiation. True, the orb could not survive the explosion of our planet, but it is resilient enough to survive a journey through hyperspace.
What?
Come, see for yourself what has occupied my every waking hour since I first suspected the fate of our world months ago. Across the reaches of space I have searched, and found at last a distant world. A world not unlike Krypton of centuries past. A world the natives call Earth.
It looks so wild, so uncontrolled. What manner of beings could dwell on such a world?
See for yourself. In a nation called America, in a subsection called Kansas.
The people, they look so primitive, savage. What kind of a jungle are you sending our child into?
Not a jungle, Lara, so much as a paradise. For the planet Earth orbits a yellow star. Exposed to the radiation of that star, his Kryptonian cells will become living solar batteries, making him grow ever more powerful. In time, he will become the most powerful being on the planet.
Then he will rule them? he will shape them into proper Kryptonian ways?
Perhaps. The hyperlight drive is attached and ready, Lord Jor-El.
But Jor-El! Is there no time for reconsidering? Is there no other way for our child to...
No, Lara. There is no more time for anything at all. The eruptions have begun.
Oh no. Perhaps it is not the end.
Do not clutch at straws, Lara. Krypton is doomed. Only our child can hope to save the legacy of all that was once great on our world. I must launch the capsule. Now.
Is this the way it must end, Jor-El? Without ever knowing the touch of my child's hand?
We are together, at least, at the last. Even though we die, I am content so long as we die together. It is our end, but for our son, it is only the beginning.
Smallville crowd is going absolutely wild as number 15 races down the field for his 10th touchdown. Smallville High has just never seen a football player like this amazing all-around champion, Clark Kent.
Go, Clark, go! Go, Clark, go! Yay, Clark!
Touchdown! I tell you, Kent, that boy of yours is the greatest. He's gonna make millions as a pro, millions.
Maybe, Coach, maybe. But I can't help noticing that his teammates on the bench don't seem too happy.
Them? They're just jealous. There's never been a champion like Clark at Smallville High. And anyway, the game's over and he's won us another one, so what's the worry?
What indeed?
Oh, Clarky, you were just magnificent again. The best yet.
I do seem to get better and better, don't I, Lana? Pretty soon, I should be even better than...
Son?
Oh, hi, Pa. Glad you could make it. Did you see that last touchdown? I was...
Son, we have to talk.
Sure, Pa. I promised Lana we'd go out for soda after the game, but I'll be home as soon as...
Now, Clark, let's go.
Are you mad at me for something, Pa?
Not mad exactly, Clark. A little disappointed, maybe.
Disappointed? But I just won the last game of the season, and almost completely by myself.
I know that, son. And that's what we need to talk about. That's why it's finally time to show you something. Something I should have shown you a long time ago.
Where are we going, Pa?
Back in time, son. It's been 18 years since your ma and me first came to this field. I've let it lay fallow ever since.
This is the field you told me never to play in when I was a kid.
That's right. And I posted no trespassing signs all around and put up the nastiest barbed wire fence I could find. All to hide this.
A metal covering?
Lift it away, son. You should be more than strong enough by now.
If you say so. But the metal door covered a trench. But what's inside it? What is it?
It's where you came from, son. It's where your ma and me found you.
Found me? You mean I'm adopted?
Something like that. Yes, adopted is as good a word as any. I should have told you earlier. I should have told you years ago. It all began late one night. A big winter storm was brewing. Your ma and me was fixing to close up the house again it. Then, what in tarnation?
Jonathan!
We drove out to this field where we heard the explosion, and we'd found...
Jonathan, what in the world is it?
It's some kind of little rocket, a Sputnik, like the Russians. Martha, stay clear.
But look, Jonathan, there's something inside it. Something alive.
Well, they've been sending dogs and monkeys up into orbit. This must be... It's funny. Got cool to the touch. I read they get awful hot, but... Say, it's opening.
Oh, Jonathan, It's a baby! Those monsters! They put a poor little baby in a rocket ship, and then they shot him off to the moon or somewhere? What kind of people are they?
Now, you be careful, Martha. We don't know this baby came from Earth. He could be some kind of Martian.
Oh, now you hush, Jonathan Kent. You've been reading too many of those science fiction magazines. He's as human as you or me. And I'm gonna make sure that whoever the monsters were who shot him up into that tin can, well, they're never gonna get their hands on him again.
Martha! But it was already too late. She's a stubborn woman, your ma. And she decided right at the moment she first saw you that she was going to keep you. By the end of the drive home, I agreed. You seemed in every way to be the baby we'd so often prayed for. Beautiful, bright, perfect. And when it came time to start school, you fit right in with the others, especially little Lana Lang. Seemed you two were kindred spirits right from the word go.
I like you, Clark Kent. You can be my boyfriend.
Although I guess you didn't think so at the time. Everything went along just fine. Until that day when you were 8. You decided to take a shortcut through Old Man McCullough's pasture. I was driving by. I saw you. I also saw McCullough's prize bull, but there was no way to get to you before... I felt like I'd seen my own life end at that moment, Clark. I ran to where you'd fallen, fully expecting to find you crushed. But instead... Clark? You're all right? That was the first sign. I didn't tell your ma about it. Didn't know how to tell her. But your secret wasn't one that could be kept from her for long. You couldn't be hurt. You got stronger and stronger. One day you even started to see through walls.
There's your purse, Ma, on the kitchen table.
How could you see it in the next room?
Then came that day late last summer, when you were romping your way home with old Rusty.
Come on, boy. Catch me. Catch me if you can. Rusty! Holy cow! I can fly! I can fly!
I'll never forget how you came swooping home, happier, I guess, than anyone in the world had ever been.
But why are you telling me this now, Pa? I mean, most of it I know. Except about this rocket ship, if that's what it is. How can we know?
Maybe we just weren't meant to know, son. Maybe it doesn't matter. Whatever this thing really is, wherever you came from, you're our son now. You're an American citizen, and that means you've got responsibilities. Now come on, son. Let's get you back home and out of the rain.
You told him?
I told him.
He told me.
Clark, don't hate us for keeping this secret from you all these years.
I don't hate you, Ma. I could never think badly of you or Pa. We had a long talk on the way home. He's right to say he's disappointed in me. After all the times you and he talked to me over the years, as each new power came along, you told me that I should never use my special abilities to make myself better than other people, to make other people feel useless. But that's just what I've been doing. It's time to stop. It's time for me to face my responsibilities. I have to leave Smallville.
Leave? Why?
I have to seek out the people that need somebody who can do the things I can do. But I have to do it in secret. The world mustn't ever know it's me. It must always seem like good luck or nature. So, tomorrow I'm heading out into the world. But before I go, there's someone I have to see.
Good morning, honey. What are you doing up so bright and early on a Saturday?
You were sound asleep when I woke up, so I thought I'd let you sleep late while I came down to finish updating Clark's scrapbook.
Your scrapbook, you mean? I still have my doubts that Clark would even approve of this.
Oh, tish-tosh, Jonathan. A mother's got a right to be proud of her son, hasn't she?
Maybe. But what do you suppose would happen if some burglar broke in here and found this scrapbook? What would he make of it, Martha?
You've got to stop reading all the big city news in these papers, Jonathan. Things like that just don't happen in Smallville. And if one did, why,
All he'd find is the scrapbook of a strange old lady who likes to collect stories of disasters that didn't quite happen.
I see what you mean. Bridge holds till last minute. Flood diverted. Earthquake does no damage.
Besides, no one's uncovered my little secret in the 7 years since Clark left. So why should we worry? You just read your paper and I'll fix you a nice big breakfast.
Aha! Bribery. Trying to buy me off with steak and eggs. Well, they do say every man has his price. Uh-oh, Martha. I think we have another piece for your scrapbook. But no one we ever wanted to see.
Mysterious Superman saves space plane. Oh, no!
That noise came from Clark's old room.
Be careful, Jonathan.
Hand me that fireplace poker. Shh. Someone is there. Son? They wanted a piece of me, Pa. They all wanted a piece of me. You know, I've been making Metropolis my home base for about 3 years now, Pa. It's a great town. Big, exciting. It really feels like home. Yesterday morning, Metropolis was all set to cap off the celebrations for her 250th anniversary. Special arrangements had been made to have the experimental spaceplane Constitution land at Metropolis International Airport. I went out there myself to see that. Everything seemed to be going perfectly, until a small civilian craft somehow slipped through the security cordon. It all happened so fast, I wasn't sure what we were all seeing. Until the little plane flew too close, and for one long, terrible moment, they just seemed to hang there in mid-air, fused together, not seeming even to move. It was as if a movie projector had suddenly stopped on one frame of film, freezing a fraction of a second into an eternity. The two ships were plunging, screaming out of the sky, still locked together. Almost as a single being, the crowd surged, shouting, yelling, panic raging through them. And right in the middle of that torrent of humanity, I knew, suddenly knew, that fate had taken hold of my life. That I was no longer captain of my own destiny. I took off. There was no point in being secretive about it. I was going to have to catch that ship and guide it safely to the ground. There was no hope at all of pulling that off unseen, unphotographed. I could only move fast enough so that my features would be a blur.
Well, you came on board to get a story, Miss Lane. Looks like you're gonna get a biggie.
If I survive to turn it in, Skipper, isn't there anything you can do?
We can make a very large hole in downtown Metropolis. Unless you know some prayers that come with instant answers, Lois. This craft is a brick now, and it's gonna hit like a... Wait a minute! We're leveling! We're slowing down! Callahan, did you?
Not me, boss. We're still dead stick and power down. I don't know what's...
I do. I've got it on our central camera. But I don't believe it for a minute.
It can't be a flying man!
Don't argue with it. He saved us.
Get the landing gear down. Perfect landing.
Hold it right there, Buster.
It was Lois Lane. I'd seen her on talk shows, been reading her columns in the Daily Planet. Now she was right in front of me, and I knew I couldn't escape her questions. And somehow I didn't want to. She's, I don't know, not as beautiful as a movie star or anything, but she has a quality, something I've never seen in any other woman. Almost a fire in those big dark eyes. For just a moment it seemed as if something passed between us. A spark. Whatever it was, neither of us had the opportunity to react to it, because that was when the mob arrived. They were all over me, like wild animals, clawing, pulling, screaming at me. And it was all demands. Everybody had something they wanted me to do, to say, to sell. It was as if my first public appearance had unleashed the worst, the greediest part of everyone. So I flew away, far, far away. I sat on a mountaintop in Tibet. They'd taken everything you'd ever taught me and ripped it apart.
You know, you still have to use your powers to help people who really need you.
But now they'll be looking for me, expecting me. I just don't know how to deal with it. I think I do. Well, Ma, how's it coming?
Nearly done, Clark. What about you boys? Have you settled on a design?
Yes, it took a while, but Pa and I finally came up with this. We made a red S for the front and a yellow S for the back.
That's just perfect. I'll stitch it right now. But what about the, other matter?
Pa solved that one, too. Obviously, I can't be on call 24 hours a day. Even I need time to relax and unwind, to be human for a while. That's why it's lucky I didn't get the chance to tell anyone my name after I saved the space plane. Now, with a few minor alterations, I can have a private place where no one will ever think to look for me. And now, meet the new Clark Kent. See, Ma? With his hair all slickered back and an old pair of my spectacles, his whole face seems to change. All he needs to do is stoop a tad and he looks like a whole different man. So long as he's careful not to let on that he has two separate identities, he'll be able to move freely, like ordinary folks.
That's good. The fit is nice and snug. I started noticing when you were only 12 years old this cloth right up close against you never seemed to tear or get dirty. Besides, it shows off your muscles.
Ma. Gotta admit you were right about the boots, Ma. They add a nice swashbuckler look.
But it's the cape that's my favorite, Jonathan. Even though it may tear not being skin tight. Maybe we should...
Don't worry, Ma. The whole thing works just fine. It's got exactly the symbolic look I wanted. So from now on, whenever there are people who need my very special kind of help, it won't be a job for plain ordinary Clark Kent. It'll be a job for Superman!
Be sure not to miss Book 2 and the other exciting titles in the continuing saga of The Man of Steel. Will Lois Lane discover Superman's double identity? Will she hold on to her position as top reporter for the Daily Planet? The answer to these questions and more in Book 2, The Story of the Century.